Good morning, my dear students. So, we were studying the chapter human body and we have already completed the first part, that is the nervous system, and also have completed the adolescence, and now today endocrine system is also been completed. So, today we will be starting from the circulatory system. What do we understand by circulatory system and how we are going to learn it? See, what is circulatory system? Circulatory system is nothing but it is particularly a circulatory system, we can say it is related to the circulation. Now, what are the fluids that are in our body? The main composition of the main fluid that is inside in our body is the blood. Okay, so circulatory system deals with the circulation of blood throughout our whole body. So, we will be learning circulatory system. Now, one more thing, that is cardiovascular system, we will learn also about that. Okay, see, the circulatory system is a type of transport system which is responsible for transporting materials such as nutrients, water and oxygen to all the body cells. It also helps in carrying waste such as carbon dioxide away from the body cells so that these can be removed from the body. The circulatory system works in the coordination with other organ systems in the body. For example, it carries hormones secreted by the endocrine system to the different target organs. The circulatory system comprises of the cardiovascular system and the lymphatic system. Okay, now cardiovascular system deals with the blood and lymphatic system deals with the lymph. Okay, now see, what is cardiovascular system? Cardiovascular system is has three major parts. What are they? The blood vessels and the heart. Now these things we have already learned in class 6. Okay, now this is repeating, or we are repeating it again in class 8. So cardiovascular system, blood, it is a fluid connective tissue. It is transported through blood vessels carrying nutrients, oxygen and waste product from one part of the body to the other, or we can say from the body to the cells and cells to the body. Blood vessels are tube-like structures that transport blood through the whole body. They branch out from the heart and forms a network to reach different parts of the body. They are of three types. There are arteries, capillaries and veins. Heart is a muscular organ located at the center of the chest cavity, slightly to the left. Okay, now location of heart is on the center, but it extends till to the right a little bit, so we feel the heart that is in the left, but actually heart is in the center. Okay, the main function of the heart is to pump blood into the blood vessels in order to keep the blood moving throughout the body. And what is lymphatic system? The lymphatic system comprises of lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes and the fluid, that is lymph. The lymphatic system forms a parallel circulatory system within the human body. When blood flows through capillaries, water and dissolved substances along with white blood cell passes through the capillary walls into the space between the cells. These fluids is collected by the lymphatic vessels and is called lymph. So lymph is this particular fluid. Along the lymphatic vessels are present several small sac-like structures called lymph nodes. These lymph nodes are also present within this particular lymphatic system or the parallel lymphatic circulation system that occurs in our body, right? Now we will be learning about the human heart. Okay, at the end of this video, human heart, I will give you one small diagrammatic video which will make you clear that from where this oxygenated blood is coming and from where deoxygenated blood is going out. So don't worry about that. First let us learn in the book, and after that I will provide you the video. Okay, see, the human heart. The heart is a muscular organ about the size of a clenched fist. Clenched fist means like this. Okay, this is known as clenched fist. It is situated between the lungs in the chest cavity with its apex pointing to the left. The wall of the heart are made up of cardiac muscles that contract rhythmically. These rhythmic contractions are triggered by the tissue called pacemaker or sinoatrial nodes situated on the upper right side. The heart is enclosed by a double-walled sac called the pericardium. So pericardium, it is the outer covering of the heart. These rhythmic contractions are triggered by a tissue called the pacemaker or sinoadrenal node situated on the upper right side of the heart. The heart is enclosed by a double wall sac called pericardium. Between the two walls of the pericardium, a fluid called the pericardial fluid is present. This fluid provides lubrication during contraction and relaxation of the heart. It also provides the heart from shocks and injuries. The structure of human heart is given in figure 4.7 that you are going to follow. Now, what are the chambers of heart? Okay, there are 4 chambers of heart. There are particularly 4 chambers of heart. Okay, the heart has 4 chambers, that is, there are 2 thin walled upper chambers called the arteria or the auricles and 2 thick walled lower chambers called the ventricles. Based on their position, they are referred to as right atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. Okay. Arteria receive blood from different organ in the body and pumps it into the ventricles. Ventricles, on the other hand, pump the blood received from the arteria out of the heart to the different organ of the body. The wall of the ventricles are much thicker than those of the articles or auricles. Okay, please do not get confused here. This part is the very important and vital part of your chapter. Okay. The 2 auricles are separated from each other by a muscular wall called the interauricular septum. The 2 ventricles are separated by the interventricular septum. The upper auricle and the lower ventricle are separated by the auricular ventricular septum. Now, what are the valves of heart? What is valve? Valve can be compared to a tap. A tap water that we find tap, we can compare this with a tap. What happens? This valve regulates the backflow of blood. Okay, suppose this is a pipeline, and blood is flowing from here. Now, in case the pressure gets dropped, then what will happen? The blood will reverse back. So these valves get closed. This is a one-way valve. This valve helps to prevent the backflow of water. Clear? Of water, not is of blood. Blood is pumped out in each chamber and its flow is checked with the help of 4 heart valves. Valves inside the heart ensure that the flow of blood is only in one direction in the heart. At no point of time does deoxygenated and oxygenated blood mix with each other. The right auricles open into the right ventricle through auricular ventricular opening, which is protected by a tricuspid valve. It prevents the blood from flowing back into the right auricle. Similarly, the opening of the left auricle into the left ventricle is guarded by the bicuspid valve. At the base of the pulmonary artery and the aorta are the semilunar valves which direct the flow of blood and prevents backflow. The 4 valves present inside the heart are tricuspid, pulmonary, semilunar valve, bicuspid valve and aortic semilunar valve. Please remember this name of this 4 valve. Tricuspid valve, it lies between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Pulmonary semilunar valve, it lies between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. Bicuspid valve, it lies between the left atrium and the left ventricle. Aortic semilunar valve, it lies between the left ventricle and the aorta. Okay, so this is the main part of heart, where how is this heart functioning, what are the ways how the blood is flowing, and where is the location of the valve. This is the main part of heart. Now we will come to condition related to functioning of the heart. So what are the conditions that are prevailed during or related to the condition of the heart? First is palpitation. What is palpitation? Palpitation means is to get feared. This is known as palpitation. When the rhythmic movement of the heart is disturbed and it feels like the heartbeat is irregular and fast, the condition is referred as palpitation. So mark up till this. The patient may feel breathlessness, tightness around the chest or dizziness. This can be caused due to problem with the heart, such as valves not functioning properly, or if the heart is enlarged. This is the condition for palpitation. Now coming to cardiac arrest, or what we call as normally heart attack. What is that? When a heart stops functioning abruptly, it is called cardiac arrest. The person collapses and loses consciousness, most often without warning. The heart may stop beating due to several reasons that are associated with damage in the coronary arteries. Some reasons may lead to a cardiac arrest are high blood pressure, history of smoking, obesity, sedentary lifestyle, or drinking too much of alcohol. Now, what is hypertension? Hypertension means that when this particular blood is flowing through the blood vessels, it extends certain pressure on the vessels or on the wall of the vessels. This is known as blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force of blood on wall of the arteries as the heart pumps throughout the body. There are two measures. One is the highest level, that is the systolic pressure, and one is the lowest level, that is the diastolic pressure. When the ventricle contract to pump fresh blood into the arteries, the second at the lowest level is the diastolic pressure, when the heart relaxes and the pressure falls. The normal blood pressure for an adult is 120/80, that you have already heard of. Suppose any of your family member went to a medical shop or to a hospital, they will obviously check the blood pressure. So we get two pressure, one is systolic, another one is diastolic. We get it as 120/80. We normally call it that, but actually it is systolic by diastolic. Okay. A persistent rise in blood pressure above the valve is called hypertension or high blood pressure. Alcohol intake, eating salty and fatty food, acute stress, physical inactivity, and smoking are the causes of hypertension. Hypertension is a silent killer often associated with no symptoms. In rare cases, however, headache and dizziness can occur. Hypertension can lead to various heart diseases. Now we will be learning about the blood vessels. What are the blood vessels? Okay. The blood vessels are arteries, veins, and capillaries. There are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Arteries, these are muscular, thick-walled, elastic vessels with narrow cavities that carry blood from the heart to different part of the body. The smaller arteries are called the arterioles. Okay. Now, arteries generally carry oxygenated blood, but there is only one exception that carries deoxygenated blood, that is the pulmonary artery. Being artery, it carries the deoxygenated blood. And what is veins? Veins, these are thin walled vessels with wide cavities that transport blood to the heart from different parts of the body. They have valves at regular interval which prevents the backflow of the blood. The smaller veins in the body are called venules. Veins carry deoxygenated blood, but there is also again one exception, that is pulmonary vein. It carries oxygenated blood. Okay, so please don't get confused. Being vein which carries deoxygenated blood, but this pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood, and artery being carrying oxygenated blood, but pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood. And now what are capillaries? These are extremely narrow blood vessels that forms network around organs and tissue of the body. Their walls are made up of only a single layer of cells. Capillary permits the exchange of gases, nutrients, and waste between the blood and the cell in the body. Okay. Now, circulation of blood, we have often came across the term double circulation. So what does this double circulation means, or what is the use of this circulation? See, the continuous flow of blood inside the body is termed as blood circulation. Two types of blood circulation occurs in human body. One is pulmonary, another one is systematic circulation. Pulmonary circulation is the flow of blood from the heart to the lungs and back to the heart again. Systematic circulation is the back and forth flow of blood between the heart and the other body organs. Okay, thus it is known as double circulation. What is double circulation? See, it is given here. Deoxygenated blood from all parts of the body enter the right auricle, from where it is pumped into the right ventricle and further pumped out of the lungs for oxygenation through the pulmonary arteries. The oxygenated blood is then taken to the heart through the pulmonary veins, which enters the left auricle. This is pumped down into the left ventricle, from where it is taken to all part of the body through the aorta. This is called double circulation. This is how the human heart works as a double pump. The right atrium and the right ventricles together pump the deoxygenated blood. The left atrium and the left ventricle together pumps the oxygenated blood. So as both of these pumps are occurring in the same time, we call it as a double circulation. Clear? Now just a minute. Circulation of blood in the heart. How is blood circulating in the heart itself? Heart is circulating or pumping the blood throughout the body, but how it is circulating in the particular heart itself? See, blood flows in human beings is caused by the contraction and relaxation of the chambers of the heart. The contraction of the chambers of the heart is called systole, and the relaxation chamber of the heart is called diastole.
Today we will discuss about circulatory system physiology. Here you can see the heart, one of the most active organs of our body. It is said that the size of a heart is about the size of a person's fist. It starts working when the fetus is around 4 to 5 weeks old and continues till the death. So let's discuss about this amazing organ. Here I have drawn a simple diagram of heart. Cardiovascular system actually has two parts. Cardio means heart and vascular means blood vessels. There are mainly two types of blood vessels, artery and vein. Vein carries deoxygenated blood towards heart and artery carries oxygenated blood away from the heart. It's actually easy to remember because both starts with A. A for artery and A for away. You already know that heart has four chambers, two atria and two ventricles. So here in this diagram, this is right atrium and this is left atrium, and in the lower portion this is right ventricle and this is left ventricle. Now the deoxygenated blood from upper part of the body, that means blood from upper extremities and head and neck region, carried by this big vein and end up into the right atrium. This large vein is called superior vena cava. Similarly, the deoxygenated blood from the lower part of the body carried by another large vein into the same right atrium. This vein is called inferior vena cava. There is also a small opening at the corner of the atrium which is called coronary sinus. It collects deoxygenated blood from the coronary vessels of myocardium. Once the blood fills the right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle through atrioventricular valve, which separates the atrium and ventricle. This valve is also called tricuspid valve. Tricuspid means three cusps. So it has three cusps. All the heart valves are one-way valve. That means blood only can go in one direction. So it prevents the backflow of blood. After that, blood goes in this direction from right ventricle through this bicuspid valve. The name of this bicuspid valve is pulmonary valve. You can imagine the next destination of blood. So the blood goes to the lungs through this pulmonary artery. Don't confuse it as a pulmonary vein just because it is carrying deoxygenated blood. Just follow the simple rule. Artery means away from the heart. As it is carried blood away from the heart, it should be called pulmonary artery. Here I have drawn the lungs. So pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs where the blood get rid of the carbon dioxide and pick up oxygen. Now blood comes back to the heart through these vessels. These are pulmonary veins. They carry oxygenated blood to the left atrium. Now this blood goes to the left ventricle through a valve. This valve is called mitral valve. It permits the blood flow only in forward direction and prevent unwanted backflow. So finally blood goes to this great vessel called aorta through another important valve. This valve is called aortic valve. Through the aorta, oxygenated blood supplies all over the body. So this is the simplified circulatory pathway.
Blood groups. Now we'll learn about blood groups. So what are the blood groups? Blood groups are A, B, AB and O. These are the four blood groups that are present in human being. Okay. So you have often termed that what is your blood group? Your blood group is A positive or B positive or O positive. As for example, mine is O positive. So what is this positive? This positive is the Rh factor that we will study. See, to understand the different blood groups in human beings, we need to know the following terms. The first one is antigen. What are antigens? Antigens are protein substances present on the surface of the red blood cell. The two antigens present in the blood of different people are A and B. Okay. Antibodies. Antibodies are special protein molecules present in the plasma all the time. The complementary antibodies are small a and small b. Depending on the combination of antigen present on the surface of the RBCs and antibodies present in plasma, human blood can be classified into different groups. And this group is known as ABO blood grouping system. Okay. See, the ABO blood grouping system was originally introduced by Carl Lundstrom in 1900. According to the system, there are 4 different blood groups. They are A, B, O and AB. So, blood group A, antigen is antigen A, antibody is antibody B. Blood group B, antigen is B, antibody is A. Blood group AB, antigen A and B both are present and no antibody is present. And blood group O, antigen on RBC surface is nothing, none, but antibody in blood plasma is antibody A and antibody B both are present. This table you need to learn or you need to memorize. Okay. A person with blood group O is called universal donor because this blood can be given to to a recipient of any blood group. A person with blood group AB can receive blood from the donor of any blood group, hence it is called a universal recipients. So with this we complete your chapter 4 human body. Okay, so chapter 4 human body is completed. I will be sharing the question and answer in the next class or in today's class itself. I am trying for that. If not, in the next class we will be sharing the question and answers. So please go through it, all the video lectures part by part. It is given, the first part is given as human body nervous system, and the second part is given as human body endocrine system, and the third part it will be given as human body circulatory system. So please go through it. Also human body circulatory system is there in class 6 as well, so don't get confused with that video. Follow this video for class 8. We will be conducting the next chapter in the next class or in the next video lecture. Till then, please take care of yourself, follow the video lectures, study hard, study well. We will be meeting in the next class. Thank you.